Hello and welcome to the latest instalment of the videos for the Dragon's Den series, following Kensington Dragons' progress up through the leagues. And it's my first ever playoff final with Kensington Dragons today. Up till now we've only had automatic promotions, and I've had playoff semi-finals that I've lost in the last 3 years in a row, in fact. So this is a big game in many ways, actually. It's a game which I kind of feel like I can't really afford to lose, and I mean that in the literal sense because our finances are in a complete pickle. And as you can see, with our wage budget is about 100,000 less than we're currently spending. I clearly can't afford to keep many of the players I've got at the moment. A lot of these players who I'd like to keep, I won't be able to. Mason Roper, I'm just not going to be able to offer him anything. I can't do it. Literally physically cannot offer him the kind of thing he's going to need to stay. Same goes for Ian Jackson. Also looks like a real good prospect. Miles Puncheon, same deal. Not as good a prospect, I don't think, but certainly the better I think, potentially at least, than any of the other keepers I've got. Even though at the moment Harry Lewis is probably better keeper. I've put my faith in Puncheon this year just because all the keepers seem rubbish. So my thinking was really just we might as well develop a player who could get better rather than sticking with the same old keepers who are not going to do us any good. You can see the average rating that Harry Lewis has had is actually exactly the same as Puncheon, and Puncheon is only going to get better. So here we go with the team for today. As you can see, we've got a few players in pretty good form, but not many. Fitzpatrick in particular has really dropped off a cliff recently after having such a good season for most of the year. He is a really top player, and he is one of the players I have got signed up, as you can see, for another season. Probably on a bit too much money, to be honest, and it's part of the reason why I'm in this mess. May have to sell him on if I can get a lot of money for him, but I would want a lot. It would probably have to be 100,000 or so. But that is the team I'm going to go with today, I think. Raggett and Reese at the back, who have been the stalwarts. Was thinking about going with Ollie Crickmay, who is certainly up and coming. And probably will replace Raggett shortly, who is coming to the end of his career. He is 32, I think. 33, in fact. So clearly not got much longer to go with this team as Raggett. Same thing is true really for Ellis Harrison, 33 years old. He's been fantastic for us, really. Last season in particular, he got 37 goals, did an absolute sterling job. Not quite so good this year, but that's what you expect at his age, I suppose. And the other player for whom this is almost certainly the end of the road is Dale Grubb, starting on the bench today. 35 years old, he'll be 36 at the start of next season. He has been an absolute legend. He so far is the legend as far as I'm concerned for this club. Came towards the start of our journey and has just rocketed up through the leagues. His best season was actually in this. No, it's his second best season, but he had a pretty good season in this division. So, it's been someone I'm really proud of at this club. And, probably one of my best signings ever. So yeah, that is the team I'm going to go with today. I'm hoping that it will be enough. Chippenham Town are a team who kind of not really. I wasn't really expecting to play them, if I'm honest, because they weren't really the team that we were expected to beat Chesham. Chesham actually beat us in the last day of the season for what would have been second place for us. Played them on the last day and we lost them 1-0. Slightly unlucky, actually. We conceded an unlucky goal. Never really looked like threatening them, unfortunately. We had very few shots. Just go to the match stats. He had 2 shots on target in the entire game, and from what I remember, at least one of them was one of those kind of. It was strictly speaking a shot, but it was never a threat. So, yeah, I suppose I'm quite glad I'm not playing them, particularly given how important this is for us. As I say, for so many reasons, this is a team that I need to get promoted at the moment. It obviously won't solve our money difficulties. My thinking is not so much that we can then build on it. It's just that I think this team, even the players that are definitely around for next season, I think this team is good enough to stay in the Vanarama South. So although I don't imagine we'll be pushing for promotion for a little while, we'll probably be in the Vanarama South for a while. If we can get promoted, I think we can stay there, and that's a big step. And if we don't get promoted today, obviously that is much more difficult because we then have to build almost from scratch with a bit of a shoestring budget, and I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge. But we'll see. Hopefully we can secure that promotion, and then hopefully it it will be a little bit of pressure off next season with, be able to tell the board that we're not going to get promoted. If we can stay in the league, I'm very pleased with that. And if they're okay with that, which I think they will be, then I'm great with it. But we certainly need to do something because the finances, as you saw, are a bit of a mess. So here we are, Kensington Dragons against Chippenham Town. Can we try and capitalise on playing the opponents that we weren't expecting to play? I really did think this would be Chesham, which would have been a real challenge. Fitzpatrick can't take the ball away. We're kind of a bit hemmed in at the moment. Not been the best starts. Playing at Basingstoke. It's an interesting place to play. Not sure why. Then again, we're not playing at home really at the moment anyway. We're playing at Copthall Stadium, which I don't know where that is, but it's certainly not anywhere near Kensington Dragons, which is right by where I live, so I know that for sure. Having said that, I think the actual where they actually play their home games is actually a little bit further away from where I am. Where I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually where I used to play football as a child when I was at school, and a young child as well. But officially, anyway, their home ground in real life is the Linford Christie Stadium, which is not very far at all from where I live, right next to Wormwood Scrubs Prison. If anyone's interested, the weirdest road in the world. The road with two prisons. With one prison, two hospitals, and three schools really, if you count the playing fields. So it's a very odd road. That's one that I visit quite often for the hospital rather than the prison, thankfully. Holding our own a bit here. This is alright. If we can just get it through to half time at 0-0, I'm happy with that. It's fairly well matched. We are having shots. I feel like if we continue like this, we could just nick a goal in the second half, and that will be enough to see us get that wonderful, magical promotion that we've needed for so long now. So 0-0 at half time. Probably marginally the better team. We are having shots. Nothing kind of clear cut. There's barely a highlight in that really. In fact, I think they had the only highlight there. So we're performing well. Keep the result good. They react positively. They do seem to react quite well to praise, generally speaking. I'm going to just take off Ian Jackson, I think. No, I'm going to leave him on for the moment. He seems to be coping okay. His condition's actually better than most anyway, so I think I'm going to leave him on. Might live to regret it, but Calcutt has the ball. Fitzpatrick. And Water's going to be sent off here. That's useful, and it's on Jackson's side as well, so that can only help. You can see they've got no wingers now, so less worried about Jackson. Might just tell them to defend a little bit narrower now. Oh, we already have. That should have changed before, because I've been trying to get them to defend a little bit wider recently, but obviously in this situation, narrower is what we want. Oh, Chippenham have a really good chance there. Obviously free kick looked dangerous, but Harrison could hit them on the break here. Jackson, and nothing comes of it. A time where we kind of need to try and think about pushing that goal. I wish I had a left back to bring on. I really do. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to move Fitzpatrick back to fullback and play him as a fullback. Perhaps a little bit more attacking. So we can afford that at the moment, and we'll have Dale Grubb, the legendary, to come on and hopefully contribute into the last half hour. And Roper has the ball on the right and gets nowhere, but okay, the midfield get it together. Roper comes in and shoots. Evans saves it. First really good chance for us in this game. Grubb has the ball on the right. Calcutt and Shepherd combining well. And Harrison nearly gets through, but not quite. We are certainly pushing them now. Going to go a bit more attacking, try and get that goal. Second half certainly looked a lot brighter. Right, Shepherd's going to have to come off now because he's injured. So I'm going to have Brian Reese, who's not really a fullback, but needs must, I think. And then we've got Jack Sowerby, who might bring on for Calcutt at some point, but I want to see, because it looks like we may be going to extra time here. Going to just be a little bit more conservative, just because if we concede now, that's the end of it. Fitzpatrick. Oh, and it's in! Raggett's got it, but he's offside. It kind of felt like it straight away, didn't it? Yeah, he's quite a long way offside there, fair enough. Harrison now crosses it to Lathrop. Nearly, so nearly. I am going to bring off Calcutt now, bring on Sowerby. Hopefully this last roll of the dice, if we can get the goal before full time, it would be very nice. Come on. Certainly have a chance. Roper to Jones, Sowerby, Grubb, and it's Grubb! It's Dale Grubb! It had to be him! Dale Grubb gets the goal that will see us into the Vanarama South. I'm so happy. I'm glad it's Grubb. I really am. My favourite player of this save so far. Oh, he's just onside. We need to... Come on, hold on. It'd be so typical if we conceded now. But we haven't got another sub. Last few seconds. Yep, it looks like we're there. I think we're there. Yes! Yes! Kensington Dragons are in the Vanarama South. I am so happy. I can't tell you. Dale Grubb with the goal to get us there, presumably in his last game. His last significant contribution for the club, almost certainly. And it's got us up. It's got us up. I'm so happy. Oh, that's brilliant. I just want to see, what did it say about that? Did it mention his legendary status? I kind of missed the... I was so excited, I missed the commentary. Used by Grubb. He is a genius. That's certainly true. It just says it's a wonderful strike. It didn't say anything about his legendary status, though, I don't think. But we've done it. We are into the Vanarama South. I'm so happy. Oh, 4 years it's taken me. I finally got there. It should have probably happened last year. It certainly should have happened automatically this year. But we're there, so who cares? That sending off certainly did help. We'll just quickly go through a few of these bits and pieces for you. Promoted. Wonderful. Initial budget's 136,000. That's... Yeah, we're clearly going to have to do a little bit of cloth cutting. So it is going to be a tough season. But I think we should be able to get up. Unexpected promotion. Wasn't unexpected at all. It was overdue. We have passed the objective 1 year ahead of schedule, which is good. Having said that, we did miss it last season. We were meant to get promoted last season. I don't know quite what's going on there, but oh well. And we have got promoted. I'm so pleased. Please do look at the... well, I assume most of you have come from the season review. Do read through the rest of it. And look out for my beginning of season post. I imagine there will be quite a lot of these players moving on, partly out of choice, partly because I don't have a choice. Ian Jackson, I'd like to keep... I'm just going to go through now. Players, I'm actually going to be writing some notes for myself more than anything else here. The players that we have who could leave, but I don't want them to. Punchin I want to keep. I think he's unlikely, if I'm honest, because I think he's got too much potential, and I don't think we can give him as much as he needs. So probably not going to happen. Shepherd, I might be able to hold on to even if I don't give him a contract, but he's 32, so I'm not too bothered. Ian Jackson, I definitely want to keep. I don't think I've got any chance, but I really, really want to keep him. I think he's been improving. It's taken him a while, but I think he's been improving. Mason Roper, definitely want to keep. Hasn't been as good this season as he should have been, but he's still 20. Got sometimes to develop still, and he's certainly good enough. And with Dale Grubb presumably leaving in some way or other, I mean he'll stay if he wants to stay, because he's on a rolling contract anyway, and he has been for a while. So I'm happy for him to be taking 1,000 a month. That's not a year. Sorry, that's not a problem for me. Joe Jones is obviously staying. Calcutt, not too bothered. Don't think he's worth losing any sleep over. That said, some of those attributes look quite good. I'll try with him. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but I will try and keep him if I can. Ellis Harrison, I think he's too old. I think he's on the wane. 25 goals this season is good, but it's not brilliant, and he's going to go up a level. I think I'm going to say thank you. You've been a great servant. 62 goals for us, but that's your lot. I actually tried to sell him at the end of last season. Couldn't quite manage it. I was hoping to get about 100,000 for him. Obviously wouldn't get that now, even if he wasn't out of contract. Dale Grubb obviously leaving, almost for certain. Will Humphreys hasn't been great for me. Probably don't really care very much, but if I can keep him cheaply, I probably will. 6,000 is probably doable. We'll see how that goes. Harry Lewis, don't want him. Get rid. Say that'll save some wage budget for sure. In fact, can I set him to release now? So I'll be staying anyway. Ollie Crickmay, definitely want to keep this guy. Don't necessarily see him being a really top first team player, but he will be... Yes, I can keep him already. That's very good news. He will be a decent backup, I think, for a long time. That's not too bad. Under £5,000, it's pretty good. It's actually less than he's on now, so that's fine. As I say, I don't see him being a first choice, but I certainly see him being a very good backup. Westbrook, not too bothered, didn't play much, hasn't looked brilliant, and he's 30. Westbrook, also 30, hasn't really featured much, don't care. Dackers is staying anyway. Now starting to think maybe I might sell him if I can get a decent amount of money for him, because he hasn't really had a great season. He had a really good season last year. Actually, even that, I've overstated how good he was. I've had that feeling that he's played really well, but maybe I'm overstating how good he was. He certainly had a few great goals in his career, but maybe that's part of the issue. And then these players, Barsby, I don't think he's going to make it. When he came through from Romulus, I really did think he was going to be a great player, but he's just never really pushed on. The lack of determination, presumably a big part of that. Froggatt's, nah. Glasgow, again, I thought he was going to be good, hasn't really pushed on, so nah. And that's probably about it. So really the big ones are Punch and Jackson Roper and maybe Calcutt, but even Calcutt I wouldn't care too much. If I can get those four, and then obviously we will have to make some improvements. We will be on a very limited budget for sure. I'm going to have to try and keep really, to the wage structure this year, because obviously my wages have kind of spiraled. Last season particularly we spent too much, and obviously not getting promoted, having taken that risk was annoying. But yeah, I think getting Ellis Harrison off the books, which is almost certainly going to happen, that'll help, because I don't think we'll be able to replace him in terms of anyone who will command quite that much in wages. Tommy Fitzpatrick is worth that money for me. I think he's going to be a really good player. He's only 20, he's going to get better, really quick, cross. It's worth every penny for me, even though he will now be our highest paid player. No, Dacker's paid slightly more. There's a player I think I'd quite like to sell. The more I think about that, I'd quite like to get rid of him. We've got quite a lot of central midfielders who are capable of doing a good job. So I will come back with my beginning of season post. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. I know I've rambled a bit at the end of the video, but you've enjoyed the video of seeing us finally secure that promotion. It's been a long haul in this league. It hasn't been my best season in terms of the actual league. If you look back through the years we've been here, we've got 75 points last year. It's only 73 this year. The year before that we got 83. That was our best year, I think. And then 77 in 2023-24. So I mean 83 would have had us easily in second place this year. Easily 10 points more than this year. But who cares? All that matters is that P, which means we are up. We're up with Hendon, which is interesting. Who are we going to be playing next year? That's the other question. Certainly some very, very familiar names there. Excuse me. Whitehawk, a team I used to manage, I think in FM 2013, something like that. So that will be a nice challenge. Most of these teams obviously will be there. It's obviously a complicated playoff that I'm not aware of in the Vanarama leagues, but presumably a lot of those teams will be there. And then I don't know, there is another feeder league I know, but who's come down I wonder from the Vanarama National, that's what I meant. They will presumably be the teams to beat in terms of promotion. Not that I'm planning on promotion anytime soon. So we've got Halifax, that will be up north, won't it? Dagenham Bridge definitely, and Barrow are up north as well, aren't they? So I'm not sure quite what that means. If Halifax, Barrow and Macclesfield, that presumably means that someone will get moved, because they're all northern, aren't they? Northern, definitely. Dagenham Bridge obviously are southern. Halifax, definitely northern. Very northern, aren't they? So I don't know what will happen with that, because those three definitely all northern teams. So presumably someone from the Vanarama League North will just get moved across, will they? Is that the way it will work? I genuinely don't know how this works. But it would be someone like Wealdstone. What are they doing there? I mean, that's a weird one. I'd be surprised if Wealdstone weren't moved across, because they're virtually in London. It's very south. So I imagine Wealdstone may well be a team that we are playing against this year. It's a really strange team to be in the Vanarama North. Not sure I understand that. Yeah, so you can see they've been in the south in every year. I assume they will be back with us in the Vanarama South in next year. So that's our season to come. What the squad will look like, who knows? But come back and hopefully see that shortly. Bye for now.